So you're about to move to a new city where you know no one. Or maybe you already moved and you're still struggling to build your circle of friends.
I am alone in this country.
Well, the first thing I want to say to you is congratulations, because you're about to learn one of the best skills in life. Now, I want you to imagine if you receive an incredible job offer, but you would have to relocate to a completely new country. It sounds scary, right? You'd have to leave your family, your friends, your hometown. Well, maybe you're not scared, because you actually already moved to a new city in the past. You already have that experience. And family and friends, well, they will still be there. Maybe you won't see them every day anymore, that's true. But now you have the opportunity to build new friendships somewhere else. Okay, you decided to move to a new city. But then you start thinking, how the hell do I meet people there? And I get it, I've been there. And in fact, I've moved to 6 different cities in the past 6 years. And each time I've always had to start all over again, which was painful. I was alone and I didn't know anyone besides my colleagues from work. And when I walk around the city, I always ended up getting lost. You know what? I actually loved it. And I really did. Moving to a new city by yourself is amazing. It gives you the opportunity to reset your life in a complete new environment. Nobody knows who you are, nobody knows your past. You can dress the way you want, you can act the way you want. You have complete freedom. That's cool, right? Well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And that's because when nobody knows you, that means that you're also alone and there's nobody you can hang out with. And you feel isolated. So starting a new life in a new city is fun. Everything is new to you, you learn a lot, but you have to rebuild everything from scratch, including your social life, which is not easy at all. And how do you actually do that? How do you go from zero to having a social group in a brand new city? Well, let's break it down. Before even starting thinking about making new friends, I need to ask you a question. Are you comfortable spending time by yourself? I'm not saying you have to spend 6 months in a cave and be okay, but if you can enjoy your company and you're desperate in making new friends, you will kind of look needy to people. And nobody likes that. Think of it like riding a bike. Once you learn to be happy on your own, that's hard to forget. You will enjoy both being alone and being with people, which puts you in a better state of mind because you won't freak out if there's no one hanging out with you all the times. So, go explore your city on your own, find a hobby, go for a run, watch all the videos in my channel, like and subscribe. Just, learn to enjoy your own company. And you'll be glad you did. Okay, now let's say you are comfortable being on your own and you found new hobbies. You have to do 2 things. You have to be consistent and you have to be friendly and social with the people around you. I told you earlier to find a hobby, right? Now, imagine you enjoy running. Just join a running club. That's where I actually met my first friends. You like photography? Join photography meetups. You like painting? Go to painting class. You get my point, right? The point is that because you like the activity itself, even if you don't meet anybody interesting, you might still have a good time. Also because, as stated in the previous point, you're not desperate into getting new friends. It would be nice, of course, but it's not a necessity, because otherwise, you will end up like the guys who go to the club just to meet girls, they get no success, and they go back home depressed. We don't want that.
Oh, hell no!
Strong friendships are likely to happen when you have common values and share interests. That's why you need to get to know yourself first and understand what you like so you can find people that are like you. Even things like politics, religion, and sport teams are important. If you like the same sport team, you will have immediately something to talk about and a reason to meet again to watch your sports team playing. Remember, when you understand what drives you, it becomes easier to find others on the same path. Are you gonna make friends the first time you go to a meetup? Absolutely not. That's why you have to be consistent. For example, don't just go to the gym randomly, but try to go consistently the same days at the same time. Why? Well, because in this way you will pretty much meet the same people, and something that really increases the chance to create connection with new people is familiarity. First time you go to the gym, nobody will likely notice you. Second time, maybe someone will recognize you. third time, you might ask someone you like to spoil you, and from that moment, the two of you greet each other every time you meet at the gym. That's how you make new connections, by just becoming familiar in a new environment. That's why it's so easy to make friends when we're in school, simply because when we see the same people over and over, we become familiar with them. Of course, this won't work if you're not friendly and social, which is the second point I want to make. When you leave your house, try to be in a happy mood and be social with anyone you meet. Ask questions to the people who work in the supermarket, smile to the cashier, compliment random people. That's because in this way you get used to be social and interact with people you never met before. And who knows, you might meet them somewhere else another day and might be the reason to approach them and start a conversation. That's actually how I became friends with some random people I met in a bar some time ago. And it's not excluded that the same thing could happen to you. So, once again, be consistent going to the same places at the same time and get used to be friendly and social to the people around you. Another point I want to make is that when you move to a new city, you have a secret weapon. You are new. And you can use this sentence at your advantage. When you ask somebody you're not very familiar with a question like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" that will likely feel a bit random and intrusive.
Why are you asking that?
However, when you add to that sentence, "I'm new here," you do two things. You make yourself more approachable, and humans are wired to help each other and include newcomers, and you make your intentions clear, because otherwise the other person would think, "Why is he asking that?" Making friends in a new city is hard, really hard in some cases, but you have to keep in mind that if you keep being social and exposing yourself in social contexts, sooner or later you will find a group of friends. Starting is really hard, but this is literally the snowball effect of friendship. Once you make that first friend, everything changes. Your friend probably knows other people. They will invite you to small events, you'll meet someone else, then someone else. And before you know it, you're part of a small network. Keep in mind, do not spend time with people you don't like or not share the same value with, just because you feel alone and you're looking for people to spend time with. Focus on quality over quantity. At the same time, don't judge a book by its cover. Many of my friends are people who didn't like at first, but the more I got to know them, the more I liked them, and I realized we had a lot of things in common. Sometimes it takes time to really get to know someone. So these are my 2 cents about finding friends when you're alone in a new city, based on my experience. Feel free to share your story on what worked for you in the comments, because who knows, it might be helpful for someone.